Should I pay the property taxes on an inherited house? Hey guys, it's Brad from probateresource.com. So at Probate Resource, we're a real estate solutions company specializing in the world of probate inheritance properties. We buy properties for cash, or we have a hand-picked network of real estate agents all throughout the country that are probate inheritance specialists that we can refer you to. So today I want to talk about paying property taxes on an inherited house. So maybe you've inherited a house or you're in charge of an estate and there are property taxes owed. In most cases, in most places in the country, if you do not pay the property taxes, the property will be sold at either a tax lien auction or a tax deed auction because the county needs their property taxes. Now, how soon that happens really depends on your area, and in many cases, it also actually depends on who the property tax commissioner is at the time. For instance, in my specific county that I live in, there was a period of time a few years ago with our old tax commissioner where they did not do any tax sales for a number of years. And then a new tax commissioner came into office and decided, hey, there's a lot of taxes owed here. Let's do some tax sales. And they decided to do tax sales. So I saw properties that had, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of no tax sales, even though they owed delinquent taxes for many, many years. So just because the tax commissioner can do a tax sale doesn't mean they necessarily always do a tax sale. So you need to make sure that you are paying the property taxes on this particular property, because if you don't and the taxes get delinquent, it could get sold at a tax sale auction. And depending on the state that you're in, sometimes you have a period of time where you could redeem that tax sale. Basically, you typically have to pay the amount plus penalties and interest. And depending on the state you live in, there may not be a right it's called a right to redemption period. There may not be a right to redemption period. Plus, some areas have let's call it a graduated right to redemption period. So within the first year, you owe X amount of interest on top of it. And the second year, you owe X amount more of interest. You do have a longer period of time to redeem, but the penalty to redeem is a little bit higher. But you still do have an opportunity to redeem and take your property back, even though you never really 100% lost it during the redemption period. As long as you pay the redemption amount, you can get it back. And the investor that bid on the property can actually get their money back plus a little bit of interest on their money. So make sure that your property taxes are getting paid. If you're not sure whether you owe property taxes or not, you can go check at your local county tax commissioner's office, and you can usually most of them are all online nowadays. You can do a search for your property address or the owner's name, and it will tell you if there's any outstanding tax bills. In a lot of cases, if there's a mortgage on the property, and this isn't in all cases, but in many cases, if there's a mortgage, a lot of times the mortgage company is escrowing the taxes and they are paying the tax bill every year out of the escrow account. And why do they do that? Well, they don't want this property to get lost at a tax auction, because tax liens are always senior to all other liens on the property. So there could be instances where their mortgage lien could get wiped from a property in some scenarios, and they would lose all their money. It is in the mortgage company's best interest to escrow the taxes to make sure that they know the property taxes are getting paid every year on the property so that it doesn't get lost in tax auction. So like I said, go to your tax commissioner's office. You can usually do a search and you can see whether there's an outstanding tax balance owed. You can also contact them and ask them if there is an upcoming tax auction or if this property is on the tax auction. They're going to notify you too. They're going to typically publish that out in public records. Usually it's a local newspaper, or they pick one of the newspapers and they're going to advertise that out to the public that your property is going to be put up for tax auction. And you'll probably also get notifications in the mail, letters in the mail, that sort of thing. So make sure you're checking the mailbox for that. If there is a tax amount owed, and maybe at the time the estate doesn't have any money to pay the taxes, but ultimately they're going to sell the house, so there'll be money to pay the taxes then, and you're worried about losing it. In some cases, you as the executor or even the family members or whomever can pitch together and basically pay those taxes on behalf of the estate. Just make sure you sign some paperwork that basically says that the estate owes you that money back. We've seen that in some cases where maybe the executor, the estate doesn't have any money in the account, but they are going to be selling the property, and Maybe there's no mortgage owed on the property, so the estate's going to get all the proceeds back when it goes to sale, but there are taxes owed. We've seen cases where the executor or the administrator has paid the taxes out of their own pocket just to make sure that the taxes are paid and nothing's lost in a tax auction. And then once the money does come into the estate account, they do a reimbursement back to themselves, and they have a proper paper trail, and you should consult your probate attorney how you would do that properly. Or if you're doing it yourself, there's some online resources out there just to make sure that you have the paper trail in place, but you can absolutely pay it and then reimburse yourself back from the estate account. But again, like I said, make sure your paperwork's in order and you're doing it properly. Make sure the taxes are getting paid. All right, well, I hope this helps you out. This is Brad from probateresource.com. Like I mentioned, we're a real estate solutions company specializing in probate and inheritance properties. We buy houses all over the country. We pay cash. We make it fast and easy. And we also, if you feel like maybe you want to go the traditional route, you want to list that house with an agent, get top dollar for it, maybe you got a really nice house in a really nice neighborhood, and you'd rather go that route, we actually have a hand-picked network of real estate agents all over the country that are probate and inheritance specialists that we work with, and we'd be happy to refer you on to one of those agents in your specific market. So if you're interested in working with Probate Resource, go to probateresource.com, or you can click on the link below in the description. It'll take you to our website. There is a form there on our website that you can fill out, and a member of our team will be back with you ASAP, or you can pick up the phone and call the phone number there on our website, and you'll get a member of our team there. We'll be happy to discuss your situation and figure out what the best fit for you might be. So thanks for watching this video today. I'm Brad from probateresource.com. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.